Thanks for watching Times News with me, Anko Sonda. First, the headlines. The Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services warns that some parts of the country may receive floods. The High Court Registrar says a lack of resources is crippling homicide cases. Authorities concerned over harmful cultural practices still being practiced in secret. We have these and other stories. Please stay with us. The Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services has warned that some parts of the country may receive floods. The department says it is expected that the country will receive normal to above normal rain during the 2021-2022 rainy season, which started October 1st. Matthews Kasanda has the details.
The department's director, Jola Mkogwe, has since asked the public to start preparing for the possible floods. Mkogwe has told Times that there are areas that are going to experience extreme rainfall that will result in floods. For agriculture, however, the department says there are parts that are going to receive very good rainfall from October 2021 to March 2022 that would be conducive for farming.
It means there will be areas where they are going to experience extreme those floods, but again, those prone areas. So planning should start now.
Meanwhile, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, has indicated that it is establishing warehouses in all districts across the country. In early March 2021, heavy and persistent rains caused severe flooding in several districts in the southern region.
Meanwhile, the new Commissioner for Disaster Management Affairs, Charles Karimba, has called on disaster risk management stakeholders in the country to assess risks and give warnings whenever necessary. Karimba said this in Salima at the coordination meeting between the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, and relief and rehabilitation officers from across the country. Matthews Kasanda has the details.
Kalemba has also urged DODMA management to ensure that all the relief items that the department gives out to disaster victims should be in line with their needs. For example, he says it does not make sense to give buckets to a victim whose house roof has been blown off, but such a person needs another roof. He has also called for DODMA to move closer to every district.
We need to start talking to the people to give them this information so that they know what situation will be there, and we also talk to them in terms of what is it that they can do to reduce the risk of casualties, but also the risk of losing property. So all these things we have to plan in advance. We should not start planning when things have happened.
Malawi Red Cross Society Director of Programs, Priska Chisara, says it is very important for various stakeholders to work together in responding to disasters.
And then as Malawi Red Cross Society, we are working hand in hand with such line ministries to make sure that the relevant people on the ground, in this case we are talking about the relief and rehabilitation officers, bringing them together to understand what this season of focus is all about, so that they have a clear understanding of the focus itself.
Malawi Red Cross Society has been on the forefront in responding to different disasters in the country.
The Lilongwe City Council has launched the construction of a 1 billion kwacha road in Area 49 in Lilongwe. Lilongwe City Council engineer Cleverson Nyando said in an interview that the construction of the road would take about 4 months. Wezi Gausi reports.
The Lilongwe City Council has put in much emphasis on the upgrading and maintenance of an economic and efficient road network for transportation of goods and services within the city to meet the current and future needs of the economy. Nyando says the 8th road would be upgraded to bitumen standards for about 2 kilometers.
We are doing a construction of a road about 2.5 kilometers, which is going through Odi Gulliver. I think it's an old existing road that was an 8th road. What we are going to do is we are bringing in what we call an asphalt load, an asphalt surfacing, which is stronger compared to the surfaces that we have been doing in the city before.
Member of Parliament for Lilongwe City Centre Alfred Gia welcomed the development into his constituency, saying it was long overdue.
People around here have been traumatized for quite a long time. Now that the road will be upgraded to tarmac standard, it will go a long way in addressing most of the problems that road users have been facing. As you know, this road has been one of the busiest roads, though it's within Gulliver.
One of the bloc leaders, Chief Kaponda, also welcomed the project. Recently, President Lazarus Chakwera launched the expansion of a 6-lane Kenyatta Road in Lilongwe.
Lack of resources is crippling homicide cases, and the High Court Registrar has disclosed. The Registrar for the Supreme Court and High Court, Gladys Gondwe, said in an interview that resources at their disposal are not sufficient to set many cases as the views of justice would demand. Where's the Gausi report?
Recently, the High Court has been moving in various districts. Center for Human Rights, Education, Advice and Assistance CREA Executive Director Victor Muhango says for justice to be served, there is need for courts to be financially stable. Muhango has asked the private sector to help with resources to ensure that homicide cases are heard in time.
Some harmful cultural practices perceived to have been abolished are intact in some parts of the country. Authorities say the cultural practices are being done in secret. Patience Lunda has the story.
In Chitipa, for example, authorities say girls are still being locked down in their homes when they come of age. But Senior Chief in Talide says traditional leaders in the district are formulating bylaws to protect girls from that and other practices. During commemorations marking this year's Day of the African Child, Chitipa District Assistant Social Welfare Officer Joyce Luhana confirmed the customs are being done in secret as people are now afraid of facing the law. Luhana says the tendency is delaying the fight against various abuses children, especially girls, are facing in the district.
It's really affecting the children, especially the girl child. Certain cultures, like they tend to let girl child marriage while she's 13 or 14.
Action Aid Malawi has been raising awareness on dangers associated with some cultural practices. The organization is also strengthening local structures to fight the harmful practices. Action Aid Northern Region Cluster Program Manager Stonard Madise, however, says there's still a long way to go. Madise observes that the cultural practices being done in secret are affecting children.
Also establish some structures within the schools, like the mother support groups, and at the same time work with partners who are also vigilant, partners, community-based organization. In this case, we are working with the Marumbo CBO and the Ntarire Women's Forum, and they take a proactive role in terms of how best they should protect the children.
Women and girls have for a long time fallen victim to negative cultural practices in Malawi.
The Malawi Law Society, MLS, has asked for the removal of panelists at the Industrial Relations Court, IRC, saying this is delaying cases. The society said this in Lilongwe during a debate organized by the Human Rights Consultative Committee on the Employment and Labor Relations Amendment Bill. Where's the Gausi report?
The current laws give a provision for the Industrial Relations Court to have panelists as the court is sitting. The panelists are chaired by the judge and other officials from institutions like Malawi Congress of Trade Unions and Employers Consultative Association of Malawi, among others. Malawi Law Society Honorary Secretary Crispin Ngunde says that the country is making consultations on the Employment and Labor Relations Amendment Bill. The society is of the view that the amending of the section that provides for panelists at the Industrial Relations Court would be necessary.
We have noted that panelists are one of the obstacles to speedy delivery of judgments or rather justice in the Industrial Relations Court. So our view is that the proposal to remove the panelists and only have the chairperson or the deputy chairperson as the ones to be sitting and delivering judgments on issues of facts as well as of law is a progressive development.
The Industrial Relations Court chairperson Austin Sawyer concurred with the Malawi Law Society.
I have had experience where panelists will take a position depending on which organization nominated them. So you would find that a panelist who was nominated by ECA will clearly take a position of the employer, while a panelist that was nominated by MCTU will openly take a position of the employee.
Meanwhile, Msoya says the court should employ permanent staff who would be sitting at the court, unlike the current arrangement where other panelists come from outside the court.
A 22-year-old Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences MUBA student, Ronaldo Gondwe, is expected to leave for India on Monday to receive medical treatment for an eyesight problem called keratoconus. About 93 Malawians made donations amounting to about 6 million kwacha to facilitate the trip. Gary Samati has the detail.
Gondwe says he has had an eyesight problem since 2018. On the verge of dropping out in 2020, an SOS was sounded on social media for the rescue of his pursuit of bachelor's degree in commerce. While explaining his experience, Gondwe expressed his gratitude.
Yeah, on that I can say that I'm grateful and I'm very thankful. I don't take it lightly. Yeah, because I know that after that I'll be able to carry on with my studies and everything will just be okay. So I'm very thankful to everyone who has put in a little something to see this through. I'm very grateful.
The donations were initiated by the Mijiga family, following concerns that Gondwe's condition could not be cured in Malawi. Rachel Mijiga, representing the family, said she is grateful that Malawians have helped the student.
First of all, we must thank God, and we must say we're overwhelmed by God's mercy, by the wonders of God's grace. That's with the most amazing kindness, Malawians came out to support the young man, Ronaldo. We had set out with a target of 4.6 million, but Malawians made sacrifices. They generously donated towards his cause for him to be able to travel to India for his eye transplant. And we managed to raise about 6 million kwacha. And within a period of 10 days, all logistical arrangements were done for Ronaldo to travel to India with his mother for his eye transplant.
Gondwe is expected to stay in India for 23 days, and he will be accompanied by his mother.
We'll be back after this break.
Parak Daily Devotional, a daily prayer guide by Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, has been designed to encourage readers to study the word daily. Included in each devotion is the word for the day, a short guideline on what to do with it, and a prayer. This October, this daily prayer guide turns 4. God created us to make lasting marks in this generation. He designed us to be extraordinary. Indeed, every person has seeds of greatness embedded within them, and by watering those seeds with the Word of God, they can sprout forth and flourish, which is to Parak. Let's blossom profusely and sprout forth with Parak Daily Devotional for the month of October as we celebrate our 4th year since inception. Get your copy now from www.propheticstore.com or simply call +265 994 838946 or +27 82 864 2046 to order.
Said this when he presided over a gift presentation to those who ran and cycled to to raise money for the needy college students that were organized by a local Malawian organization, Seed of Promise. Rebecca Chinjeka has forwarded this report read by Matthias Kasanda.
According to Nsungama, what the organization is doing is in line with the government's agenda to end poverty.
It's a good initiative because it is looking at the welfare of young people. Not only that, but giving them hope and the future.
On his part, Seeds of Promise Executive Director Maclean Onsewa says the money that the organization has raised will be used to pay fees for needy college students.
We're raising money to send students to college. We're raising money to buy computers for our youth training program. We're also raising money to buy sewing machines for our trade.
Seeds of Promise is a Christian non-profit organization whose aim is to fight poverty through sustainable farming, promoting better nutritional choices and entrepreneurship training for the youth in Malawi.
Bishop Peter Chifuka of the Diocese of the Catholic Church says several challenges in today's life need dedicated people of God to give strength to others. Bishop Chifuka said this in Lilongwe when some sisters celebrated years of service while one made her final vows. Matthias Kasanda has the details.
3 of the Catholic sisters were celebrating 62 years in service. The other 3 have served for 25 years, while one of the sisters was making her final vows. Bishop Chifuka says the sisters have endured challenges to reach this far.
Serving God is a unique way, but that we must learn from others. The world today is quite challenging for people to trust in God's call to vocations as sisters or brothers and priests. But once we have these celebrations, we see them as role model for the youth.
Sister Perpetual Zilande has served for 62 years.
To reach 60 years, my first priority was the personal prayer. And the common prayer which we did together in the community was also an addition to strengthen me spiritually.
Spiritual General Sister for Sisters of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus, Agnes Jonas has encouraged willing girls to join this.
All those who are interested to come and join us, they are most welcome.
The celebration service was held at Mlari Parish in Lilongwe.
Blantyre Synod of the CCAP Church says choir groups have played a vital role in the development of the church. The Synod's music director Margaret Kankwamba made the remarks when Makata CCAP Church main choir celebrated its 50th anniversary. Isaac Salima with a report.
Beautiful, so saving John, oh John, in my soul.
For many years, Ndilande Makata CCAP Church has been associated with musical groups that have also raised the church's profile. One of the church's oldest choirs, Ndilande Makata CCAP Men, has been loved for its soothing songs. From 1971, the choir has been going better and stronger, and is this year celebrating 50th anniversary of ministering the word of God through music. Blantyre Synod's music director Margaret Kankwamba said the church cannot do without choirs, saying have been vital in its spiritual growth.
Most of the things that the synod or the church have, singing take a lot of part, and the singing, it contributes a lot. People, they come to church to listen to the word of God, but some of them, they come to listen to the music. So when they go home, they say, no, I went to church and I've, praised the Lord.
Our church choir has been singing, glorifying God for all these 50 years. Yes, the singing has contributed a lot to the church growth because there are so many Christians who simply come to church to listen to music.
Ndilande Makata Men's Choir Secretary Luabi Kapite described the 50-year journey as both exciting and challenging.
Well, it hasn't been all that rousy. There was ups and downs. We have managed to reach this point, it's because God in heaven has made us to reach this point, and we're expecting that in the coming years we'll continue preaching the word of God.
Ndirande Magara CCP Church has about 12 choirs, including the famous Mount Sinai, Chisisimuso, and Life in Jesus choirs.
That's the news, but before we go to the headlines once again, the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services warns that some parts of the country may receive floods. The High Court Registrar says lack of resources is crippling homicide cases. Authorities concerned over harmful cultural practices are still being practiced in secret. Remember, you can get more on these and other stories by visiting our website www.times.mw, liking our Facebook page Times 360 Malawi, subscribing to 1895, and following us on Twitter at Times 360 Malawi. Remember to wash your hands regularly, observe the social and physical distance, of course, mask up, and get vaccinated to prevent COVID-19. Please do stay safe. My name is Yanko Sonda.
Every single day, life gives us a chance to make smart choices. A choice of having smooth, glowing skin, to feel comfortable, no grease, to stay hygiene and safe from COVID-19. Make a smart choice today by choosing Purity products and stay pure.
Some call it the hustle, others call it the grind, others call it kupusha or kuzisaga. Whatever you call it, you will need passion, determination, the will, the zeal to overcome obstacles. You will need to believe, because the hustle is not easy. It requires effort and the right mindset. And when you feel like giving up, you will need someone to step up, to give you that push, to keep you going. At National Bank of Malawi, we believe that a young hustler's dream is bankable. That is why we are stepping up to help you step up your hustle. So rise, young entrepreneurs. This is your moment. Let us help turn your dreams into reality with Step Up Entrepreneur from National Bank of Malawi. Call 626 for more details. National Bank of Malawi, the bank of the nation.
UNICAF University, September to October 2021 intake. Special scholarships from UNICAF University for bachelor, master's, and doctoral degree programs. UNICAF University is accredited nationally by the NCHE and internationally by the British Accreditation Council in the UK. Enroll for internationally recognized degrees at a fraction of the cost until the end of October 2021. Apply today and get a free tablet when you pay the required deposit. WhatsApp 0993 907 002.
Life, obviously, and comfortability comes where there is no flexibility. At House of Men, you get a suit today.
Mafuna kuti tidziwitsana kuti mashare athu ayamba kuchulukira. Ndiye tiye tipitirize kupanga mabizinesi otipatsa phindu, kuti so tipitirize kupeza phindu lambiri. Yeye tukoma tikumbotsana kunena kuti gulu litu tinayambisa ndife amene tili ndi matenda angonagona. Kuti tidzilimbikitsana. Banki nkhonde njongo tithandiziro tizipeza ndalama zozithandiziro thanziratu. Nchofunika kwambiri kuti tike thanziratu patsogolo. Mati nitakufunsa ndukamba za thanziro. Tonsefe tili pano tinabayisa katemera COVID-19. Ena kuoneka kudabwa atu bwanje.
Mpofunika kuti katemera amene yunaneso ndikabayitse basi. Koma ngati phindu la katemera wa COVID-19 ndimalimvetsa bwinobwino.
Katemera wa COVID-19 amathandiza kuti munthu asadwale mwakayakaya.
Oh.
Kapena kumwalira kumene ngati munthu adwala COVID-19.
koditu makamaka kwa ife amene tili ndi nthenda za mgonagonafe.
Anthu omwe tili ndi matenda a mgonagona tiye tikalandire katemera wa COVID-19 osayiderera COVID-19. Tiye titsatire njira zonse zodzitetezera ku COVID-19 kuti tidziteteze tokha ndi kuteteza ena.
We all start differently, but we can all start with the strongest protection. Because some start early, others start late. Some from little homes, others from big ones. Some start together, or all on their own.
It doesn't matter how you start, as long as you start strong. With new Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection. Now with fluoride plus arginine for 4 times more strengthening power. So that you can give them the strongest start to their day. Colgate. Start strong, stay strong.